Okay, so we have successfully unplugged the Denon box. Something just fell on the floor, Jesus. So this is the Denon box. The Denon box is on the channel. Purchasing this at all. Why? Because I purchased it years ago, almost 2 years ago, to be 2 years. Interestingly enough. Purchased this 2 years ago for opportunities that I was getting that wanted me to address a more vinyl setup. And I am definitely more of a digital DJ unless you're paying me to lug 45s or 12 inches around the city. This is probably what you're going to get. It is as authentic, close to authentically vinyl as I'm getting based on this. Now, if you pull out a S9 or S11 and that's in your venue with the lovely 1200 Techniques or those Pioneer girls that are fabulous, then I'm gonna roll with you. Otherwise, you're gonna get this if you have 1200s and a mixer. If you don't have those, you're gonna get probably a SX2 and maybe coming soon an SRT 1000 from me to DJ in your spot or in your crib. I have the SX2. I'm manifesting the SRT 1000. Just so you know, I said it here first. Anyway, this is a great, very tiny DVS from Denon. Serato used to have a big ass bulky box. It had a bunch of ports on it. It had 2 USBs. It was fabulous. I was going to get it. They canned it. This is the replacement. Sound quality is amazing. The sound, I say it again, the sound quality is amazing on this Denon box. If you plug it into a piece of shit, it will help enhance the quality of the sound because Denon makes very great products. Why don't I have a bunch of Denon products? That's another story for another time. This is me going through my process once again of unplugging everything. Maybe I'm thinking of a strategy because, you know, folks will get overwhelmed and y'all attention span ain't shit just like mine. You probably won't watch the whole video, yada yada yada. So I'm thinking of ways I might want to chop this girl down. So I'm gonna give you a little, some people call it ninja rig. We'll say ninja, we won't say the word that I would say in certain groups. I got these cords from Amazon and they're splitters. The reason why I bought them is because I was trying to figure out how to individualize the sound coming from my isolator. I was trying to figure out how to individualize it because I was like, can I get it to go from one channel to the other, or does it have to just go from the isolator itself? Can I individualize the signal so I can flip between the 1 and the 2 of this mixer? So I bought these little, here, let me see if I can. This is done. So I bought these little splitter RCAs, right? And of course I couldn't figure, or it didn't work how I wanted it to work coming through the isolator. I was trying to finagle the isolator. It's got 2 sends and 2 returns, and I was trying to split the signal from the isolator. That was not the move. What I did decide to use them for was to split the signal, because you know, for the most part, you cannot play vinyl from this mixer because it does not have enough ports to separate. So if I wanted to play vinyl, there's a line, and I'll show you where it is because it's the detailing of the time. So there is a phono out here and here. So you can flip back and forth between your DVS and your phono. So if you want to, you know, play some vinyl, you can flip back and forth. The issue was the signal wasn't being split from the box. So whatever was coming out going in from the turntables, you couldn't split it. I split. So now I can simply switch between here and here and not have to unplug cords the box to be able to receive an analog or digital signal. That is, my friends, a hack. So if you decide that you want to rock with this Denon DVS DS1 interface and you want to run vinyl through it and you don't have other ports on your mixer, you most certainly can grab some splitters and make it happen. You can make it happen. That's the bottom line. You can make whatever you need to happen. You just got to be smart enough to strategize to do it. So you don't have to do all that. You just need to get a better mixer. You need to get more channels. You just You will figure it out. I am not going to unplug all of the cords from my microphone amplifier. This is the bottom line for the amp. See my RC, this is my mic amp. Because you have so many wires and cords and cables, it might be a good idea to tag and write on them with a little cord or a strip of tape so that you know what they belong to, or if that works for you. So, of course, I did an unboxing for this girl. Initially, I thought that she was going to further add amplification to, amplification to my sound quality with the cheap ass Dell PCs that I purchased. I purchased 3 PCs. I purchased a Chromebook, then I purchased a step up from the Chromebook, then I purchased Dell computer to be able to stream from, and the sound quality out of the Dell was horrible. I thought that if I purchased this and ran it somehow from my mixer or somehow through the Denon box or what have you, or however, that it was going to add some amplification and some warmth to my sound. It did not. But what it did do is it added warmth and sound depth to my mic, and for all practical purposes be used as a computer interface. So these are the 1200s that I've had for over 20 years, and part makes me super nervous, and I shouldn't. I mean, I got the girls up here myself. I don't have any hood, I'm sure. So I have unplugged almost everything, and turntables are not light, not good ones. I know they got all kind of Vestax turntables, and Newmark got some turntables. Even Pioneer has a lower budget turntable that doesn't have all the weight, but these girls are a good 25 pounds themselves. Part of the reason why I'm nervous is because there's always the possibility that you take one out and this whole thing will go flying, because I don't know that this weighs 25 pounds itself. I'm practically holding my breath right now and sliding this girl down on the floor. Ooh, you need to know. All right, so we got rid of that one. My remedy to not quite unplugging everything is keeping the plugs in this mixer. I think I can talk about it. 'Cause there's a few different inputs that make this girl tick, and we have to unplug this, unfortunately. Yeah, so I have a lot of wires, clearly, that I'm dealing with right now. So this is the Behringer. It's XENYX 502. I paid like 35 or 40 bucks for it. There is an older video, can't tell you how old it is. It's probably less than 5 or 6 years old on my channel, where I talked about why I purchased this. I purchased this mixer to assist me in my home setup at the time in Chicago, and the streaming, and just having a different amount of control outside of my controller, as well as a few other things that I was plugging into it, the Roland drum pad, and a few other things that I was plugging into the mixer. And it served me well then, it serves me well now. It's not a higher end piece, but for traveling or for your home studio, a small girl like this is a cheap date. And I would say if you need a smaller mixer, for those of you who are streaming, then this will be a decent go-to. The prayer is that, and I'm sure I've done some research lately, the prayers is that they added a USB to this. This could kill the whole game for you if you have a USB on this, because if you have a USB on this, I need to say it, I'm breaking all this shit down for a reason. If you have a USB on this, then you don't have to have a Mackie Big Knob or another sound card. If you have a USB and you're not doing all of the things that I'm doing in my audio, then you can get it done by just simply plugging your controller or your turntables through your mixer out. Got some work to do with that, but you can get input and output from RCA if you have a controller simply, or if you have a controller that might have more professional cords, more standard XLRs or 1/4-inch jack cords, then you can run that and get all your sound in through here. You can get a mic. My mic is running through there, and the sound, my overall sound from my isolator, from my mixer, from my turntables, and through Serato are running through this, correct? Where they are running out of, after pulling all of these pieces into this, they are running out into this Mackie Big Knob. I'm taking my time. That's what you do when you get seasoned. Anywho, again, things in the pocket. Light bulbs, because I changed my light bulbs and my lighting. Cheap Walmart, Amazon lighting. Get into it. Anyway, so we getting down to the wire. This is the Mackie Big Knob that I had a bunch of struggles out of. Zounds replaced it twice. I'll say it again, twice. I initially had issues with this big knob when I purchased it almost last year in March. They replaced it once, it failed. They replaced it again. This is it. And I thought, because of the fact that it has an unfortunate history, that this was the issue. It is not, which means I don't know how in the world I got two flawed Mackie Big Knobs. I did. And this one so far is doing the trick. So all of the sound that comes from the mixer ends up here. And this, I am going to egg this. This is my sound that is coming from, this is the sound that comes in or out. This is the sound that goes out to the house. So this controls everything that goes across my room. So we're gonna put that there. Notes. All right, and this is the Mackie Big Knob that I just unplugged. So that's that. And what's left in it is a cord that I've used to, what did I use this cord? Monitor, B monitor, just a random cord for XLR. But this is a great tool for those who are streaming and you need outputs and inputs. The wonderful thing, I did not use it on the desk. It was on my desk at the time. I wasn't using it as a sound card. I was simply using it to separate sound A and B in the 4 pair of speakers that I own that are plugged up in this room. A and B, A and B. That was it. I'm not using it quite in that way. Yes, I can isolate the sound. From here over to there, I can switch between the two. I do use it for that, but I'm using it to stream because it has a USB interface. Once again, everything ends up here and running through this computer. And I thought this was the glitch issue, but I'm assuming as I sit it on the floor. Why would one sit everything on the floor? Because if you sit it on the floor, it can't fall. This is my overhead camera. It is a cheap Amazon camera that I got from Amazon. There you go. For the sake of the conversation, this is the camera right here. I'm sure it has a name, a brand. But for all practical purposes, it's not on the girl. So we don't know what the brand is. I know that at one point it was $39. I copped one and then I copped the other. During Christmas, they dropped the camera to 14 bucks. Quality wise, it's a great camera if you have the right lighting. If you're in a dark setting, then it gets really fuzzy. I'm okay with the fuzzy because I don't mind not having great cam quality on all of my cameras. Of course, I have a Logitech, I think it's the 920, and that is my main camera. And I moved it. It used to be behind me, now it's on the side of me. The resolution is quite clear. That's the camera of choice. But there's nothing wrong with buying cheaper cameras. If you can't afford higher end, there is a quality to be found, my children. There's a quality to be found in lesser expensive devices. Does that sound right to you? Least expensive devices. You got to do a lot of work to find the gems, but you can find them. All right, so this is the streaming computer, the MacBook Pro 15. All these wires and cords. This is where my work is about to be. This was work, pulling all this shit apart. It's gonna be work putting it back together. But the hope is these are the cords that run to the isolator. I don't know that I'm gonna take them out. There's a lot of dust because these lovely pieces of equipment collect dust, and that can also create sound issues if I am understanding correctly. You have to make sure to maintain your equipment. Wipe them down. Wipe them down, honey. Yeah. This girl is coming out slowly. All right. She will also go on the floor. Carefully place these girls, these 25-pound gems of my life. Story. So, a young girl, probably around the age of 20, decided that she wanted to be a DJ. She talked to her. Now, where is this coming from, Jesus? You see how stuff comes out of, there's a screw that creates panic because we don't know where it came from. We don't know what it goes to. We don't know if something's gonna come loose. Panic. It's just, I love what I do to the point that nobody asked you, but I don't know where that screw came from. And if it's important, if something is gonna fall apart, that's the kind of shit I go through in my mind. I'm a worrier to a degree. Anyway, a young girl decided that she wanted to pursue the art of DJing, and she asked her father to purchase, can you be quiet? Good grief. You see? All right. So I have to feed my child because she's spoiled and she doesn't like to wait.